Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Don't just throw a tailgate. Own the tailgate with a Bojangles Big Bow Box. Because only Bojangles puts tailgate-ready fresh, never frozen, honey barbecue or buffalo bone-in wings with fall-off-the-bone juiciness right in the pocket. The only way to make these wings any better? With some made-from-scratch buttery biscuits, flavorful fixins, and freshly steeped legendary iced tea. So let the quarterback do the throwing, you do the winning. Because how can you expect to win the game if you don't win the tailgate? Bojangles, it's bow time.
Boutique Air in Muscle Shoals, Alabama offers direct flights to Atlanta and Pensacola. Boutique Air service runs twice daily, 7 days a week with fares starting at $59. Follow Boutique Air Muscle Shoals on Facebook at Boutique Air MSL and book your flight through boutiqueair.com. Boutique Air,
where you can fly private for the cost of commercial.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. My wife and I sat down with Harlan Mitchell and discussed our own estate planning needs. I know in our experience, Harlan brought up questions that caused us to think about our current situation and what we need to do moving forward. When you sit down with Harlan for your free consultation, you're going to find out things that you may have not thought about when it comes to estate planning. I encourage you to go to BamaEstatePlanning.com or give Harlan Mitchell a call at 256-216-9884 and schedule your free consultation today.
Experience the difference at Athens Bible School. The vision and purpose is to provide each student a quality education in a Christ-centered environment to develop the whole person spiritually, mentally, physically, and socially in safe and supportive surroundings. The solid biblical foundation permeates learning and culture in the classrooms and every extracurricular activity.
Hey everybody, this is Daryl Worley, and you're listening to The Mark White Show. Hey, step up and make a difference like he does.
This old world is full of hurt and pain. A little sunshine and a whole lot of rain. It don't take much to drive those clouds away. Let's all do something good today. You never know what someone's going through. Don't underestimate what you can do. A friendly smile's a tiny price to pay. Let's all do something good today.
Welcome to another edition of the Mark White Show. I am your host, Mark White, and we are entering September, which is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And you know, if you follow the Mark White Show, we bring awareness to it year-round. But I particularly want to do some stories in the month of September to recognize some families, to recognize some efforts when it comes to the childhood cancer community. Now, I want to mention the Shelby County Reporter because I did see a story from the Shelby County Reporter. It's a great community paper, I believe, trying to find stories like the one I'm about to share with you. And I wanted to share this with Mark White Show listeners as well. Right now on the line, I have Danielle and Lana Turner. They are making yellow bows at the table as we speak. Welcome to the Mark White Show, Danielle and Lana Turner.
Hey, Mark. Thanks for having us.
Hi. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. When I read your story, Lana, I just had to reach out to your mom and say, hey, do you want to share your story with the Mark White Show? Because I just want to be a vehicle to give you an opportunity to reach more people.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. And you are actually a college student, right, Lana?
Yes, sir. I am currently a sophomore at Troy University. I was 18 when I found out I was diagnosed with cancer. It was 13 days before my 19th birthday.
What a situation to have to handle as an 18-year-old.
Yeah, I think the big thing with her is, you know, she just started school and she'd made the chancellor's list and was doing really well, and all of a sudden started getting sick. And she had FaceTimed me, and I noticed she was black under her eyes, and I just was not satisfied with what the doctor down there said, so I went and got her and brought her up here, and that kind of rocked her world because she was diagnosed with leukemia and went straight to Children's Hospital and began treatment.
Sometimes a mama or a caretaker just knows, and it sounds like you had that intuition as a mom.
Oh, I did. I knew something was not right, and she had, you know, never complained, never missed a class, and she was not going. She didn't want to go to class that day, and they took her to the after hours, and they diagnosed her with the stomach virus, and I was like, no, something's not right. And sure enough, by the time she got up here, she was extremely sick, and like I said, went straight into treatment.
Lana, you have gone through Children's Hospital in Birmingham for treatment. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I was there for right at about 8.5 months.
What was your experience with Children's Hospital in Birmingham?
It was very different. All the kids on the floor, they were, 2 years old, 5 years old. I think the oldest one up there, besides myself and a few others, was probably, I think maybe around 10 years old. So I was, 19 years old up there, surrounded by all these children, and it's very eye-opening to be around children 24/7 because I'm the baby of the family, and so I've never been around, those ages of children 24/7. I don't know. I just think it's very eye-opening to see that I went through treatment and these kids that were diagnosed with leukemia, they went through the same type of treatment as I did, but their bodies still were able to withstand all the treatment that they went through.
Lana, let me ask you this. Being an older person there at Children's, did you find yourself maybe at times being surrounded by those children and them loving on you as somebody that they could look up to?
I definitely feel like I was. People always labeled me as like the older sister of these kids. And I would always, there's this big window at Children's. I would always go over there and color with these kids or just talk to them while they played. Or when we walked the halls, we would sometimes walk halls with these kids. And like I said, I was just labeled as like the big sister who they kind of looked up to and could also play with, even though there's such a big age difference. But I still feel like I was able to relate, like I was able to relate to them also.
Those kids, they're going to carry that with them throughout their lives, that they had you there, because as you know, when you're told you have cancer or any kind of life-threatening disease, it's a very lonely place for an individual, no matter how many people tell them they love them and how many people tell them they care about them. It really is an internal battle. And to have a person like yourself that these children could look to, I know that probably gave them a lot of comfort during that time too.
To this day, a lot of those families, we're still really good friends with a lot that we went through cancer treatment with. During the time that we've been in this journey with Lana, we've lost 6 children. And I say we because once you become part of this chemo group, this cancer group, it's like losing a child or a child being diagnosed of your own. And we've continued to build our relationships with these families and have built they're family to us. Every one of them are.
Right now, we're talking to Danielle and Lana Turner in Shelby County, Alabama, and we're talking about the battle that Lana had and has with cancer, with leukemia, AML leukemia to be more specific. She was diagnosed while she was attending at Troy University. You've heard some of her story so far. The reason I'm bringing Danielle and Lana on the program today is I want to hear their mission. I want to hear what they want to do moving forward, to not only be an encouragement to their family, but to be an encouragement to other families as well. And I want everyone that's listening right now to think about what they can do. A small step, a big step, whatever you can do to help the childhood cancer community. And I hope that you're encouraged by this show. When we come back, we're going to talk about that mission with Danielle and Lana Turner in Shelby County, Alabama. Will you stick with me?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Folks, you are listening to The Mark White Show, and I'm your host, Mark White.
Something good today. A little wink, a pat on the back, a big old hug, a little laugh. We can make a difference. All we have to do is try. Yeah, every day's a chance to change somebody else's life. Let's all do something good today.
Mr. Cecil Batchelor is the one that started this business as Dependable Service Center. And even though now it's Green's Dependable Hardware and we're a True Value store, our tagline is still Your Dependable Service Center. We've tried to keep that alive for all these years. Mr. Batchelor really started a good business. We're really excited to be carrying on a long-standing tradition. It's the oldest retail store in the city of Russellville. We're Green's Dependable Hardware, 15220A Highway 43 in Russellville, Alabama. We're right behind McDonald's or right across the street from the hospital. Number is 256-331-0123.
Your Dependable Service Center.
Do you look at your home or business and wonder what you can do when it comes to landscapes or hardscapes? Get in touch with my friends at JJ Brothers Hardscapes and Landscapes. Licensed, bonded, and insured, JJ Brothers Hardscapes and Landscapes offers new sod, irrigation, new flower beds, new mulch, blocks, stone, retaining walls, patios, and outdoor kitchens. Give JJ a call at 256-497-8263 or email at jjhardscapes@gmail.com. Now offering pool remodeling and new installs. That's JJ Brothers Hardscapes and Landscapes. Located in Tuscumbia, Alabama, the Alabama Music Hall of Fame honors Alabama's music achievers. You can even go into the recording studio and try out your talents as a singer. That's the Alabama Music Hall of Fame, located at 617 Highway 72 West in Tuscumbia, Alabama. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Give them a call at 256-381-4417. Check them out on the web at alamhof.org. Thompson Roofing and Construction is a locally owned family business serving the North Alabama and Southern Tennessee area. They are a Better Business Bureau A+ member since 2011 and a GAF Master Elite Contractor. Give them a call at 256 952-3309 or check them out on the web at 256roofing.com. They offer free inspections.
Thompson Roofing and Construction.
Is it time for a haircut? Go see my friends Philip Butler and B.H. Parker at Southwind Barbershop, located at 1637 Lee Street in Rogersville, Alabama. Give them a call at 256-247-5658. That's 256-247-5658.
Yeah, after all this time, you're always on my mind.
Hi, this is Rodney Crowell, and you're listening to The Mark White Show, where making the difference in other people's life begins, and we all get on board and give it the best we can.
I still love you. To the city, works extra hard all day, finishes up early so he can get away, 'cause there's a blue-eyed kid on second base, wants dad to watch him play. Daddy knows he's waiting.
Welcome back to the Mark White Show. I have a couple of very special guests with me right now. Again, I want to thank the Shelby County Reporter for seeking out stories that make a difference in their community. It is a community paper down there in Shelby County, Alabama, and I just happened to catch wind of the story when it came to Lana Turner, and right now I have Lana and her mom, Danielle, on the Mark White Show. Welcome back to the Mark White Show, Danielle and Lana.
Thank you. Thank you for having us again.
You're welcome, and I know that once you're diagnosed with cancer and you've gone through what you've gone through, Lana, this really becomes a mission, a passion of yours to help other people as well, right?
Yes, sir. Very much so.
So when I was talking to your mom, Lana, she told me you all were sitting at the table and making yellow ribbons, and I know that gold is the color for Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, the month of September. What are you doing with those ribbons?
So our mission this year was to give back. That I feel like that's been our motto for 2021 is to give back. Last year when I was diagnosed, we received help from friends, family, so many strangers across the country, across the state. So we, like I said, we just want to give back. And like you had mentioned, yellow is the color for childhood cancer. And our mission with these bows is we sold them and we hand delivered them to everyone within Alabama, because I feel like that's kind of more of a personal touch to receive them like hand delivered. And each of these bows included, with parents' permission, a story of a child that they're either in the process of fighting cancer or they're in remission, or we had some that unfortunately had passed due to cancer. But each of these little cards just tells like a little story of these kids, their diagnosis, and it also includes a picture of them. And we decided to do these stories on each bow because we felt like it would kind of make it real for people. You hear cancer, childhood cancer, but I feel like with these stories and seeing each kid, it's like, oh, this can happen to anyone. So we're taking these bows and like I said, we're delivering them, and our hope is just, if one person sees this yellow bow, the next person will be like, oh, hey, where'd you get that? What does it mean? And then that'll educate them, and it's kind of like a domino effect.
I absolutely agree with that. And when you think about you being a teenager at Troy University and you sharing your story, that gets people thinking in that age group that something could happen potentially to them. And it also brings it closer to home for each person that hears your story to know that you were 18 years old going on 19, and at 19 years old, you're at Children's Hospital with these children and you're battling AML, leukemia, and it's something that a lot of times as a younger person, we don't think about having those types of health issues. We don't think about those interruptions in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
What is your current situation right now, Lana, as your story unfolds? And I know you're wanting to help other families. What is happening with you right now?
Yes, sir. I'm currently in remission. I've been in remission since March of 2020. I'm currently on a target chemo, which is their pills, and I'll be on those for about another few months. And then after that, hopefully I'll be done with chemo.
Danielle, I was just thinking about the fact that it wasn't just a couple of weeks ago that parents were posting pictures of their kids going off to college and saying their babies were leaving the nest. And the fact is that Lana did leave the nest, but you had to get your baby back and you had to help take care of her.
You know, looking back at this last year that we spent at Children's, first of all, I was extremely lucky to be able to stay with her, whereas a lot of parents can't. I am a single mom and was still able to be up there with her. And during COVID, you know, we couldn't come and go. She couldn't have visitors. She couldn't have her friends come. So it was me for a long time. But, you know, I kind of went into that mama mode, and you do what you have to do. And that's one thing people would say to us all the time, you know, how do y'all do it? I don't know how you do it. You just do it. You just do it. You know, you don't have a choice. If I did have a choice, we wouldn't be in this situation, but it has definitely changed our family. It's changed our faith. It's changed the whole dynamic of how we work. Me and Lana, Lindsey, her oldest sister, and Dillon, her oldest brother, you know, I'm not sure what I would have done without them, because they were left on the outside while we were at Children's, and they had to tend to the house, the bills, taking care of the animals, you know, running errands. They had to do everything. So we all had to pitch in. It was not just affecting me or just affecting Lana. It affected all of us. And I'm just so proud of my little family and how they jumped up and did what they needed to do. And, you know, people don't think about cancer as being an emotional thing, but it definitely is. And I think that not only physically did it affect Lana, but, you know, emotionally. And I don't know that ever goes away, but we deal with it. And like I said, it's definitely not something that we've done by ourselves. I definitely could not have done it without our community and our family and our friends. And, like I said, our brother and sister.
Lindsey's listening in. I know that. I'm not going to embarrass her by bringing her into the conversation, but I do want to say hats off to Lindsey and Dillon for stepping up. And I think that's a key point to bring out, Danielle, is that throughout the month of September, we do recognize the children, the young people who are affected by cancer, but then there's an extended family, there's an extended group of loved ones who are affected as well, and it can be very hard on those who are connected with that loved one as they battle cancer too.
Oh, it definitely is, because I think they took you know, my oldest, my son, he didn't understand why it didn't happen to him. And of course, Lindsey, you know, wanted to take it away because Lana was the baby. You know, this was not supposed to be happening to her. And I think because they couldn't fix it, you know, they really went through some emotional, just as much as we did, emotional issues. And like I said, we were stuck at Children's, and I couldn't get to them and they couldn't get to us, but they were very supportive of each other. And I think we sometimes forget that when a child is diagnosed, that, you know, their siblings are going through some things that we sometimes forget.
Now, I realize that there are a lot of organizations and foundations. I've recognized them through the Mark White Show. I want to help you on your mission, Danielle and Lana and Lindsey and Dillon. You as a family, as a unit, you are now very cohesive because of this effort. You've been brought together in a special way. I want to be able to help you and your mission and what your goals are moving forward. So Danielle, Lana, if you want to tell me what you all want to do to help the childhood cancer community, I'd love to be able to help however I can to be a vehicle to get your message out.
Okay. I think one of the big ways people can contribute is, like you mentioned, these organizations. There's so many local that have helped us personally that I really don't think we would have survived some of last year without their help. Not only financially, but a lot of these organizations helped us emotionally.
Spiritually.
They've really come together and just helped us, you know, as a cancer patient, as a cancer family, to know like everything will be okay.
So the thing that we did this year was to make, we made these ribbons, and of course we were selling them for $10 a piece, and every bit of the money that we're making toward these sales, we're donating back to Children's Hospital, a quarterback. So what we're wanting to do is to get the money and take it and turn it into gift cards, so that the parents that had to travel there, I mean, you don't think about the money that it costs. You know, nobody can afford cancer, and it's food, lodging, all kinds of things, you know, that you could incur while you're up there. I mean, there's times where I couldn't get out and go eat, and Lana wanted to, you know, might have wanted a hamburger. So I mean, it takes a lot of money to stay up there at Children's, and that's the thing that we wanted to focus on this year, was giving back to that. Now we're dwindling down our sales because she has absolutely went beyond what she thought she was going to sell, but we still are taking donations and hope to get those funds to children. Probably, wouldn't you say around the 10th or 11th you want to do it?
Yeah, I think so, because that's about almost the middle of the month, and so that'll kind of give people time to still get their purchases in, and also still be able to donate and to put their bows out, whether it's on their mailbox, front door, whatever it may be.
So how can people donate? How can they send money to this effort, Lana and Danielle?
So we had set up a Venmo, and the Venmo is Fight Like Lana Grace. So it's FIGHTLIKELANAGRACE. That was kind of my hashtag during treatment that would allow people to follow me, updates and everything like that.
I want to make sure that people know. So it's Fight Like Lana Grace, correct?
Yes, sir.
Fight Like Lana Grace on Venmo. You can support this effort, replenish the funds that it takes to make the bows, and as they move forward with this gift card effort, you can contribute and donate and help this effort out. And Lana, is there a message that you have for people as you think about the battle you've gone through, and you think about the young people that you saw going through this battle, and your mom even mentioned that some of those children are no longer with us?
I think just overall, I feel like this doesn't only apply to cancer, but just to never give up hope, because I feel like there's always the light at the end of the tunnel that you can look forward to, and you always have something in life to look forward to. I just think, because, you know, when I was diagnosed, I kind of thought it was the end of the world, but as we can see, it was not the end of the world for me.
I'm so glad that you and your mom, Lana, have come together, that first off, you're in remission. So prayers have been answered so far for that. And then second off, that not only did your family come together in a special way, as your mom was describing, but you're also here for other families. And I think that means so much to families out there, and the ones that you have actually been able to meet, and the ones that you've yet to meet, because you're going to connect with so many people because you do care outside of your own circumstances. You're thinking about other people, and people will gravitate towards you because of that.
Yes, sir. That's definitely my hope, is to, you know, reach out to other families, to learn about other families and their stories, and to kind of help them emotionally, as we received, like I said, we received so much help, financially, emotionally, and all the kids on at quarterback, which is the cancer floor at Children's. They'll be getting this money, and like my mom mentioned, whether it's, to go get food or to buy some clothes, because not all these families live in Birmingham to where they can drive home and, get clothes, get a toothbrush, get food at home. So I really feel, or I know these gift cards will help these families reduce the amount of stress that's already piled up on them.
Absolutely. Well, Danielle and Lana, I want to thank you for joining me here on the Mark White Show today to share about your story, to share about the mission that you're now on as we move through September, Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Again, I do want people to find opportunities, and this is a great one. So again, Fight Like Lana Grace on Venmo. You can support this effort. And thank you, Danielle and Lana, for joining me here on the Mark White Show today.
Well, thank you, Mark, for having us. I really, really appreciate this.
Thank you for supporting me in this and help get the message out about childhood cancer and how to bring awareness to it.
Well, you both know how to reach me now, so anytime, please reach out to me. If you have something that you need, let me know. That's what I'm here for. That's what this show is here for, is to recognize difference makers like yourselves.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Folks, here on the Mark White Show, we do recognize difference makers like Lana and Danielle and Lindsey and Dillon. And if you are inspired and encouraged by this story, I hope that you'll share it with your family, your friends, your neighbors. Let them know about the Mark White Show. You can follow the Mark White Show on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and subscribe to the Mark White Show podcast via Apple iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Audio Boom, SoundCloud, Blueberry, YouTube, and TuneIn Radio. You have been listening to another edition of the Mark White Show, and this is Mark White, encouraging you to find your purpose by making a difference in someone's life today.
Who live and love in my hometown. Ah, these are my kind of people.
Boutique Air in Muscle Shoals, Alabama offers direct flights to Atlanta and Pensacola. Boutique Air service runs twice daily, 7 days a week, with fares starting at $59. Follow Boutique Air Muscle Shoals on Facebook at Boutique Air MSL and book your flight through boutiqueair.com. Boutique Air,
where you can fly private for the cost of commercial.
Don't just throw a tailgate. Own the tailgate with a Bojangles Big Bow Box. Because only Bojangles puts tailgate-ready fresh, never frozen, honey barbecue or buffalo bone-in wings with fall-off-the-bone juiciness right in the pocket. The only way to make these wings any better? With some made-from-scratch buttery biscuits, flavorful fixins, and freshly steeped legendary iced tea. So let the quarterback do the throwing, you do the winning. Because how can you expect to win the game if you don't win the tailgate? Bojangles, it's bow time.
You hear me, people, when I say, well, let's all do something good today.